It's always astonishing to me how the daily word and the message that I've been guided to give are always in alignment. Refresh, let us be refreshed in and through spirit. And my beloveds, one of the only ways that I've found to be refreshed and renewed and revitalized is through my practice of meditation. And I am not, I have a beloved friend who Darlene and Barbara know very well. She's visited Unity several times. Liza, Dr. Liza, I call her Dr. Liza. And Dr. Liza can meditate for about 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. I have to be honest, I think unless there's a spiritual crisis, I'm so busy, I can't even get to 30 minutes. But I've found that when I meditate for 5 to 15 minutes, I have been transformed by the renewing of my mind. I have been born again through the power of spirit. It has been utterly remarkable and miraculous that I could actually sit in meditation for 5 minutes and have whatever storm in my mind and dark thinking be dissolved in and through the light of God. I have a practitioner who I consider my spiritual teacher. She's been here a while ago, Penny Shaw. And when I began meditating again, because I felt so lost in my life, she said to me, I want you to begin with a minute. And I thought she was utterly insane. I said, but what can a minute do? And I had 30 minutes in my mind or an hour in my mind, and I was thinking, how can I do this? She said precisely that. Your ego will tell you that it is impossible for you to sit in the silence for 30, 40, 20, 45 minutes, an hour. But we want to bypass the ego. And she said, if you have a leak in your ceiling or in the roof, and you put a bucket underneath that leak, drop by drop by drop by drop, it will fill the bucket. One drop at a time. And if you come back, you go, oh my God, the bucket is filled. Drop by drop by drop. She said it takes a moment to connect with eternality. It takes a moment to connect into the eternality of God. When God is healing you and downloading, time doesn't exist in the wilderness. So in your human mind, you think that 1 minute or that 5 minutes is nothing, but you are tapping into eternality, and everything is possible with God. Illumination in a moment. So today, Spirit has sent me to this passage in our Judeo-Christian Bible. I say our because as metaphysicians, as New Thought truth students, many of us progressive, open-minded, outliers ahead of our time, many of us threw that book away and said, oh, heck no, that's not the truth. And yet, as metaphysicians, as practiced students of truth, we know that God works in and through everything, and that we interpret our scriptures, this tradition of the Bible, from a metaphysical, esoteric point of view. That means that we know that from Adam to Jesus the Christ, ascending into heaven, it is the journey of the soul, our own awakening from matter, from mass, from thinking that we were physical human beings to realizing that we are infinite souls. That's what the Bible is about. It's our journey to full awakening. So I was given the guidance to read from Matthew chapter 6, verses 22 through 23. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be filled of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great that darkness shall be. If thine eye be single, thy body shall be filled with light. If thine eye be single, thy body shall be filled with light. What did that mean to me? As this was the message that I received, if thine eye be single. For old school Christians and even Jews, that means if I focus on following the rules, I will attain some kind of peace or heavenly experience. No, but for us as truth students, this is not what we are focused on. The light is the power within. When we meditate, when we attune, when we contemplate, when we study, when we align with God, within, our eye is single. And this focal point, this focused awareness creates awakening. When we align with spirit within. I've loved God. I've had a love affair with God since I was a child. Like I said, I'm quite dramatic. I'm an actress and performer, and I love the high drama of the Catholic Church, and give it to me Orthodox style, with all the robes and all the candles and all the smells and all the chanting, Gregorian everything. However, I never found a path to truth. I never found a path to liberation that way. I worshiped the Creator that way with a lot of drama, because that's what I like. But I wasn't free. I was very sick in my consciousness. I suffered from a deep, deep, dark depression for many, many years. It wasn't obvious because I am an extrovert and I love being with people. So I'd be happy here and a misery in my car and on the way home. The only thing that shifted me was aligning with the presence of God, source, higher power within. Aligning with the truth that if thine eye be single, thy body shall be filled with light. In these timeless words, we find a powerful revelation of the connection between our inner vision and the illumination of our lives. The single eye is symbolic of our focused consciousness and our ability to attune ourselves to the higher plane of existence. Just as lens focuses light to a single point with a camera or your own camera or video camera, our awareness, when concentrated and unwavering, opens the gateway to the flood of spiritual insight. Until I focused my attention on God, spirit within me, my life was a mess. I've been reading New Thought since I was about 17, because my brother was 15 and we went to a Buddhist meeting and they were like, why are these Black kids here? Who are these Black kids at our Buddhist meeting? But they were so lovely. But they were kind of, I could tell they wanted to say, where's your mother and does she know you're here? Because Black kids are usually Christian and what are you doing at this meeting? But we were seekers. So I'd been reading New Thought since then and I was still miserable because I wasn't reborn by the renewing of my mind. I did not have a single focused attention on God within. Consider this, my beloveds. When we clear away the clutter of distractions and align with our intentions, our thoughts, and our actions with a singular purpose, we create a channel for divine energy to flow freely through us. We create a channel for divine energy to flow freely through us. In this state of alignment, we become conduits of light, vessels of wisdom, beacons of love. Our lives transform into a radiant tapestry woven from the threads of intention, faith, and mindfulness. Intention, faith, and mindfulness. When I began to live with intention, I always say there's this big trend, and there are sugar babies, young women who seek out sugar daddies. It's all over social media to finance their life and their college education, and they're very outlandish and open about it. I realized that my sugar daddy was God. My sugar daddy, my husband, my wife, my lover, my friend, my everything, my brother and my sister were God. When I began to turn within with focused intention and attention, I was healed from a depression that I thought I would have all of my life. Now, this is not to deny the biological reality of depression. I took my medication, I took my Prozac until I took my lithium, and then I took my 5-HTP, and when winter comes, I'm taking my lithium orotate, my 5-HTP, and my vitamin D, because with the lack of sunlight in the Northeast, we can get blue. So it's not about us, it's actually the lack of sunlight. But there is a light within. There is a light within. And so we must be mindful and live from a single-eyed point of view. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, mine eye is single and focused on you. If I'm in a jail cell, I'm focused on you. If I'm going through the worst dis-ease, I'm focused on you. If I'm going through heartbreak, I'm focused on you. If I feel as though I may be homeless and the bank account looks discouraging, I'm focused on you. If my dreams didn't come true, I'm focused on you. If I have regrets, I'm focused on you. You, divine light. You, source. You, my everything. My everything. So, I had a moment of just, when I'm with you, I just feel spirit moving in and through me. And it is the greatest honor of my life to stand before you and share truth with my brothers and sisters. So although the concepts of inner illumination and single-minded focus are not unique to Christianity, but can be found in various spiritual and philosophical traditions. In Hinduism, the Bhagavad Gita tells us in chapter 6, a person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi when he is fully satisfied by the virtue of acquired knowledge and spiritual realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, and gold. It is all the same. Single-mindedness allows you to see everything. You know what doctor to go to. You know what corner to take, and there's a spot open, and none of your friends have been able to pay to find a parking spot, and they're all paying $60 in New York, but you found one. Because you are aligning single-mindedly with the one. Miracles great and small begin to occur. In Taoism, Lao Tzu emphasizes the concept of Wu Wei, which is translated as non-action or effortless action. This is the idea of aligning with the flow of the Tao, the way, the universe, God, and acting with a single-minded focus in harmony with the natural order of things. I love the East and the tradition of the master student that aligns, this teacher that shows the student how to align with single-mindedness in order to break that wood in half, but it's an outward manifestation of awareness, of awakening, of transcendence, of inner power. I went from powerless to powerful when I became single-minded in my devotion to the One. The crazy Martine started coming into alignment. Wisdom started showing. Healing began to occur. Joy was unbounded in my life. Thank you, God. In the Quran, in various verses of the Quran, the importance of inner illumination and focus is emphasized. For example, in Surah Al-Burqa, Surah 2, page 197, there is guidance on performing the Hajj pilgrimage with single-minded devotion and purification of intention. I love Islam. I've had many Muslim friends. I love the fact that they practice the 5 calls to prayer daily. They stop wherever they are. They turn to Mecca, symbolically turning to the One, turning to the presence, turning to God within with single-minded focus, and they pray. Of myself, I can do nothing. I'm walking around, breathing, talking, holding this mic. It's the God power within me that does the work. Through the practice of 5 calls to prayer anytime during the day, they're reminding themselves, not God. We're not worshiping God. God doesn't need any of it. We need it. I need it. I need it every single moment. I need to be reminded I'm not a victim. I'm not powerless. I'm not simply a scared little girl. God indwells me. I am powerless. I am a timeless, ageless being that can overcome everything with single-minded focus on the One. So my beloveds, I'm going to tell you the meaning of this scripture from a metaphysical interpretation. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be filled with darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, now how great is that darkness? The light symbolizes conscious awareness. In New Thought, the light often symbolizes conscious awareness, wisdom, and understanding. It represents our ability to perceive and comprehend the deeper truths of life. The I is consciousness. The I here is metaphorically represents our consciousness or our inner perception. It is not our physical eye, but our inner perception, the way we perceive and interpret the world. Single eye represents focus and clarity. The single eye is the state of focused and clear consciousness. It's a mind that is undistracted by fear, doubt, or negative thoughts. When our consciousness is singularly focused on the positive, on the harmonious, and on spiritual ideas. Our entire being, I said building, our entire being becomes filled with the light of understanding, the light of God. The evil eye represents negative thoughts. The evil eye symbolizes a divided or negative consciousness when our thoughts are clouded by fear, judgment, or negativity. Our perception becomes darkened and we lose touch with the divine wisdom that is inherent within us. And that divine wisdom is God. As I focused on being depressed, being worried, being sad, my loving brother, my baby brother, he's a grown man now, would call me, he lives in California. How are you? Are you okay? How's it going? Because he knew I was the depressed one of the family. And then when I shifted my focus and I said, I'm great, life is good. I think he was too scared to ask why. He was like, I'm just happy she's happy. Because I began to focus on the 4 things that were right instead of the 65 million things that might be wrong. And I was reborn by the renewing of my mind. So that evil eye, that darkness, is us staying rooted in our own inner negativity or in the negativity of the world. My beloveds, we don't deny what happens. We accept the illusion, but we know the truth. Accepting that, yes, people are shooting people up everywhere. Young people are hurting on drugs, dying of suicide. The economy appears to be bad. We are at each other's throat racially and all the isms and politically. But we here at Unity in the city, we know the truth. All is well because God is all there is. We know the truth and we accept the illusion. We don't, if there's been shootings in an area, we don't go there. If it's been unsafe, if we need to go there, we say a prayer, we shield ourselves. I want to admonish you to imagine yourself with an invisible veil. I tell my brothers and sisters to pray for invisibility. If you're going to a crowd or to an event, I love being with people. I cover all of the people I'm with a cloak of divine protection and ask that the divine makes us invisible. If something happens, we can leave easily and not be harmed in any way. So know that you are that powerful. Claim your protection and your cloak of invisibility in God. How great is that darkness? The consequences of our consciousness. This phrase underscores the idea that our state of consciousness has a profound impact on our experiences. When our consciousness is filled with negativity or confusion, it casts a shadow in our lives, leading to feelings of separation, lack, and unhappiness. From a New Thought perspective, this passage encourages us to cultivate a consciousness that is singularly focused on the positive, the loving, and the harmonious thoughts in our consciousness. When we do so, we align ourselves with the divine wisdom and abundance that is our birthright. In that state of consciousness, our lives become filled with light, meaning, clarity, understanding, and a sense of oneness with the divine. If thine eye be single, thy body shall be filled with light. And so it is.